All right, so we talked about the previous episode about what happened through the first 3 days of this talk show. This week, we talk about Maverick Celtics. We talk about NBA trade deadline connecting. We talk about Robert Kraft not being a Hall of Fame. How the Patriots and the Seahawks got to the Super Bowl. We named 59 Super Bowl MVPs. And the James Harden deal was connected in Cleveland. And the list goes on and on. But today is February 5th, 2026. Let's see what's coming up on JDB's Morning Cap. I would say good morning. Welcome to JDB's Morning Cap. Today is February 5th, 2026. Super Bowl is 3 days shy. Yes, Super Bowl 60 is 3 days away. We have Seahawks and Patriots. Super Bowl 60 is just around the corner. Tonight we have NFL honors/awards. We'll find out who's your 2025-2026 most valuable player. We have a Defensive Player of the Year battle. We have a Coach of the Year battle. Offensive Player of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. And Walter Payton of the Year as well. So, a lot going on here tonight. And similar to this. So, this is an exciting day in sports. Today it's trade deadline. I am so looking forward to that. I am so looking forward to this in this one here. So if we want to talk about NBA trade deadline, you might as well forget about it, right? Wrong. So we'll find out who's traded, who's in, who's out, gets the big story of it, and now this is what happened for this one here. So I can tell you for what, there's a lot of things what's gonna happen the next thing you wanna. All right, let's start with the NBA trade deadline. We're gonna do that 45 combined minutes, if that's the case. All right, so we did have breaking news in the NBA. The Wizards have acquired Anthony Davis along with an eight-player trade deal. So Anthony Davis is heading to DC. And so let me ask this question about this. With Anthony Davis still being out, do you think they even he gets traded? Should they keep Anthony Davis out and Trae Young out for the rest of the year to ready for next season? Or there's another move coming this offseason? Or will Trae Young and Anthony Davis play together next year in Washington? Well, they got a superstar. Sarr is a talented player. So Washington could be better next year. The Wizards could be better next year. So if Davis and Young both could be healthy by next season, this Wizards team will be dangerous. Is to get back to the playoffs. They have not made the playoffs since 2018, I think. Yeah, 2017-18 season. That was the last time that the Wizards have made the playoffs. It's been a long time. But if you think about Anthony Davis, he's gone 4 total teams: Pelicans, Lakers, Mavericks, and now the Wizards. But he's still out with an injury. I don't know how long he's going to come back. I mean, I don't know when he's going to come back. I don't know how long he's going to be out. He's going to be out further more games. I said he is going to be out further more games than returning soon enough. I mean, this is a golden opportunity. You put yourself in a really, really bad position to go with it. So let's just say this about Anthony Davis. You think Anthony Davis really deserve another thing? No. It's like, who do you think? Who do you think they have other chances to get out? You can name all of these players, but you can name all of them. You don't have to name that much. So the deal was telling, according to Shams, they said they sent Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to Washington Wizards, which means Dallas will have to benefit Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, and 2 first-round picks, and also 3 second-round picks. So, which means the Mavericks are going super younger with their roster talent. But lucky they still got Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson in Dallas, which means you got a possible Rookie of the Year, Cooper Flagg. He has played his butt off all season long. But Dallas is going to be a better basketball team. So is Washington. But Washington is making low money, and the cap space. I mean, Dallas and Washington's cap space is more than the same. Actually, they have the same cap space they had over the last 3 to 5 years. But it's really difficult to generate more cap space. But it's a lot. Let's say you paid a whole bunch of salary to benefit Anthony Davis to a different squad. I mean, he's won the championship with the Lakers back in 2019-2020 season with LeBron James. I mean, but since he won the championship, Anthony Davis has missed more games. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, who else has been missing more games due to injuries and all that stuff? John Morant, they have missed way more games than any other over the last 3 years. I mean, so many injuries from their star players. And 3 of them have not been an MVP just yet. 3 of the players have not had an MVP in the league throughout their careers. But when players are retired, and when you walk out with no NBA MVPs between Irving, Morant, and Davis, I'm not saying it's a career disappointment, but but the good news is you at least you won a champion. At least you're a future Hall of Famer. But that's all I've been telling you. That those deals are going to go against you, and now Now you're going to work with Trae Young and Anthony Davis when they get healthy. Just not this year, not for the rest of the year. Next year, when they get healthy, get in shape, I think they'll work together. It's not going to be easy, but I think they'll have to play this thing out. That's the best thing they have to do is get every perspective of the game. So that really amazes me about that. So Anthony Davis heads to DC to work with Trae Young. They should have a pretty good relationship when they get healthy, either later this season or going to next season. So hopefully these two guys will work together as a team. So there's not a lot to whole left to say about that. All right, so let's stick with the NBA. Same segment. We're still on segment number 1. We're at breaking news in the NBA. The Warriors have acquired Kristaps Porzingis, which means the Hawks are landing Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield. So both Kuminga and Hield are heading to Atlanta. Kristaps is heading to Frisco to play the Warriors. So which trade is better for the team, Atlanta or Golden State? Who's better? Probably the Hawks. The Hawks might be better than the Warriors, honestly. The Warriors are still getting older and older. Draymond Green is in trade rumors. We'll talk about that on this show later on today as trade deadline is looming. But the Warriors right now, but let's talk about the Hawks. The Hawks got some bright spots, but it's going to be difficult, but they got some bright spots on their team. With Kuminga not being healthy or requesting a trade, something like that. Buddy Hield, trading with a new team, could get a fresh start. Losing Buddy Hield of the Warriors is going to hurt. The bench play has worked very hard this season, but the Hawks, they just got stronger. They got stronger guard play. They got a stronger big. This is a golden opportunity for the Hawks to reach into the playoffs. And how they can do that? Well, they need somebody to step up. Like Jalen Johnson, he's an all-star. Jalen Johnson's having a hell of a season. He could lead the team in scoring for the rest of the year. But damn, I think everyone shocks that the Warriors are getting Kristaps Porzingis. Has it gone better or has it gone worse? So let's talk about the Warriors. Has the trade deal gone better or has it gone worse? Technically, it has gone worse for Golden State because with Kristaps Porzingis, if he doesn't get healthy by the rest of the year or otherwise, that's a disappointment. The Warriors had a lot of things in the plate, but they're sitting the 8th spot of the Western Conference. And there's no questions asked. There's a lot of things that need to go back at the plate and what they need to work on is. This is where you always landing at. There's a lot of things they can keep themselves in mind. They can at least get one player or two. Let's say Steve Kerr. Let's say you got Stephen Curry, Kristaps Porzingis, Draymond Green, if he doesn't get traded, and Al Horford. But the only young player is Brandon Podziemski. He's the youngest player maybe the youngest player in parts of the starting lineup. The rest of these guys, they're over age of 26. Stephen Curry is over 26. Draymond Green is way over 26. Al Horford is the oldest. He's way over 26. Kristaps Porzingis is way over 26. Speaking of Brandon Podziemski, Hold on. Brandon Brzezinski is 22 years old. He's the youngest. He is the youngest player in the starting lineup. The oldest player in the starting lineup, most likely. Is Al Horford. He's an NBA champion. NBA champion, Al Horford. He's the oldest player. He's the oldest player in the starting lineup. He hasn't started a lot this year, but let's say Warriors are one of the oldest teams in the league. But damn, it's really hard that the Warriors are just keeping on getting old. They old, man. But it's not much you can show about it. All you gotta do is show up and show out. That's about it. It is a spine of difference. It is a spine of difference. This is what even happened to you. You say the Warriors, like I said, they just got worse because they're getting older. Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Porzingis. Like I said, they're over 26 years old. It's getting worse, man. I wouldn't have that. We'll talk more Warriors a little later on in the show, including Draymond Green. And we'll talk about Giannis' trade as well. So we're going to keep you updated as soon as possible. So we're going to keep that going. But our next segment, we'll talk NFL awards. Who walks out award by award. So we'll find out who that is. And then also coming up, why there isn't black coaches in the NFL right now. We're also going to talk about that. And then we'll talk about Seahawks and Patriots' best moments of 2025 season before they prepare the game of the Super Bowl 60. We will step away in 3 minutes. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, NFL awards starts tonight at, let's see. Hold on. Something wrong. NFL Honors starts tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on NBC, live from Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. John Hamm will host the NFL Honors. You can see on NBC, Peacock, and NFL Network and NFL Plus. So there's stars, celebrities will be in San Francisco tonight. So we'll find out who comes up top in this one here. All right, so who gets the Defensive Player of the Year nod? All right, so let's start the awards here. We have Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, or T.J. Watt. Oh, by the way, Will Anderson Jr. is part of it too. Will Anderson Jr. is part of it. It's Will Anderson Jr., Myles Garrett, or T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons. Who do you think who comes up top? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Will Anderson Jr. I think Will Anderson wins the Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's having an amazing year. But I do like Myles Garrett. I like Myles Garrett as well, but he has 23 sacks. Don't be surprised. Both Anderson and Garrett will win a co-Defensive Player of the Year. That would be cool. But I really have an individual. But my winner is Will Anderson Jr. from the Houston Texans. So I think that would be the case right now. They're both had stellar years. So there's no getting around it in this one. So that's the Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. Who's my next? My next award is Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. I'm gonna go with Tarik McMillan, Tyler Shug, Jackson Dart, or Travion Henderson, or Emeka Egbuka. So my winner of the Offensive Rookie of the Year is Tete Rowe. Let me hold on a second here. My Offensive Rookie of the Year would be Aurora McMillan. Aurora McMillan. Okay, Aurora McMillan will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's having a solid season, but I do like the fact that he's earned his opportunities. He led this team to the playoffs in his first year with Bryce Young. I mean, Bryce Young, his third season with the Panthers, going through some growing pains in his early career. Now Young has finally broke through. They won 8 games in the regular season, ended up winning the NFC South Division. But McMillan led the rookies in receiving touchdowns and yards per catch as well. So yards after contact. So that led this team to the playoffs. So you got to give him credit with it. I like Tyler Shug. Tyler Shug, he did not make his first start until, I believe, middle of the season. So, but overall, Tyler Shug actually played very well. The Saints won 6 games this season. That's pretty good. For the Saints won 6 games. They went 6-11. It's not that bad. Because the previous year they went 5-12. It was a disaster after the Gal Tortuno start. This year, improvement, but still not good, but good enough. 6-11. Now, I think Saints have a chance to make the playoffs next year with this talented young quarterback, Tyler Shug. I'm impressed. He uses legs. I think they can get in. I think they can win division with a weak NFC South division. I think they can do it. And then Jackson Dart, solid rookie year with his legs. He's got some arm talent as well. I think he'll prove it in his sophomore season. I think the only thing is, I believe he deserves a lot of opportunities to come back here. The blowing leads, end up losing games, is going to come back to haunt you for the New York Giants. But I think the Giants will be better next year. You got your new coach, John Harbaugh. So this is not it. Emeka Egbuka from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got off to a solid start, fell off down the stretch. That led to missing in playoffs, but overall, solid rookie season for Emeka Egbuka, with Mike Evans' future looming large. Egbuka could be the #1 receiver on this team if Evans steps down as a main wide receiver. Finally, Travion Henderson from New England Patriots. Early this season, he got into a little bit of a slow start, didn't get a lot of playing time. But since then, he's starting to believe himself and comes through in big runs. I mean, when Ramondre Stevenson doesn't get any opportunities, but recently, you got to get Travion Henderson to create more opportunities in the running game. And now his team is in the Super Bowl, they need Travion Henderson to create more opportunities. That's going to be the key for the Patriots to run the football. And that's how relentless they are. So my offensive rookie of the year is Tetairoa McMillan. That's my offensive rookie of the year prediction. Next one, I'm going to start with offensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year. Right now, the candidates are Jackson Smith-Njigba, favorite, Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, and Drake May. My winner, let's start with I'm going to pick the winner in just a few moments. Jackson Smith-Njigba leads the NFL receiving yards, tops in touchdowns, hell of a season, got to the Super Bowl. Puka Nacua, another solid year. He leads the NFL in receptions, top 5 in yards. He leads the NFL in contested catches. That's great. Christian McCaffrey, rushing yards down, scrimmage yards, receiving yards up, but still a good workhorse. Bijan Robinson, most productive performer in the league. He's improving. And Drake May could become the first player since, I don't know, last time the quarterback has won the offensive player of the year and the most valuable player in the same award in the same season. So I think it has happened before because of that. And my winner of the offensive player of the year prediction will be Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to win the offensive player of the year. Next one will be coach of the year. Next one will be coach of the year. We have Mike Vrabel of the Patriots, Liam Cohen for the Jaguars, Ben Johnson for the Bears, Mike McDonald of the Seattle Seahawks, and Kyle Shanahan of the San Francisco 49ers. So my winner of the coach of the year is Mike Vrabel from the New England Patriots. I say Mike Vrabel wins. Got to the Super Bowl. He came in. The team went back to be hired as head coach after teams have gone back-to-back 4-13 seasons. They lost Bill Belichick in 23-24, lost Gerard Mayo 24-25. And now you add Mike Vrabel as a head coach and got to the Super Bowl. Ben Johnson, 11-6 record, North title of the NFC, won his first playoff game, but got dropped out of the divisional round to the Rams. But overall, a solid year for Ben Johnson. Working with Caleb Williams is a pretty crucial moment for them. I think that's the best case scenario. Now, Mike McDonald, best team in football. I say co-best team in football. Mike McDonald got this team to the Super Bowl. Now, can have his chance. And then Liam Cohen, successful season after Jacksonville. I believe they won just 4 games a year ago. And Kyle Shanahan, big turnaround after they went 6-11 a year ago. So my coach of the year is Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We have Carson Schwarzenegger from the Cleveland Browns, James Pierce Jr. from the Atlanta Falcons, Nick and OROY from the Seattle Seahawks, Abdul Carter from the New York Giants, or Jahad Campbell from the Philadelphia Eagles. My defensive rookie of the year goes to, for my prediction, defensive rookie of the year, I predicted Carson Schwarzenegger from the Cleveland Browns. So Carson Schwarzenegger wins the defensive rookie of the year, predictively. All right, next one, comeback player of the year. Comeback player of the year. We have Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Aiden Hutchinson, and Stephon Diggs. The winner, Christian McCaffrey. He had a season-ending injury last year. I like Christian McCaffrey as comeback player of the year. Next one, Walter Payton. Who? We have Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield. Deion Dawkins. So my winner is Deion Dawkins from the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna go with Deion Dawkins for the Buffalo Bills. And then finally, most valuable player, who will walk out to win a wide open MVP race. We have Drake May, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey. Matthew Stafford is on that list too. So my for your 2025-26 MVP, I gotta go with the New England Patriots, Drake May. Drake May is gonna win in his first MVP with his second year in the NFL. Drake May is gonna win the MVP. So I predict Drake May will win the league MVP this year. So hopefully that will be the case right now here. All right, that's enough. We're gonna move on. We're gonna update. Coming up next, we're gonna update Draymond Green and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the trade as the trade rumors. So we'll start with Giannis first, and then Draymond after that. We'll talk trade deadline all day long. Also coming up, what happened to the black coaches in the NFL? Is there one? It's also coming up, and then also coming up, Seahawks Patriots best moments of 2025, either as regular season or postseason. We will step aside in 3 minutes. All right, welcome back. We do have breaking news in the NBA, but first, we're gonna wait the Draymond and Giannis' update, so we're gonna hold on to that in a couple of moments. We have breaking news in the NBA according to Shams. First, let's start off with the Knicks. The Knicks have acquired Jose Alvarado. So which means the Pelicans will send Dalen Terry and second-round picks to New Orleans, exchanging from Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado will head to New York. So this is a huge win for the Knicks. Try to add a guard defense. But sources said Alvarado could come off the bench and make a huge impact. So it could help their cause. So the Knicks are acquiring Jose Alvarado. Also, other breaking news, the Suns have acquired Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey, exchanging for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes Davis. Richards and Hayes Davis are headed to Milwaukee. Coffey and Anthony are heading to Phoenix. Try to get more scoring production and defensive production. So those are the updates from the main guys who is traded. at the deadline. So here's my question right now, Edir. So do you think Jose Alvarado will make a huge impact in the playoffs? I believe so. The Knicks, Jose Alvarado will make a huge impact in the playoffs on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, his offensive game has gotten better, but I'm just saying the defense has been improved. The defense has been one of the best in the game for Jose Alvarado, but there's not much to get around. There's a lot of things they can go for that, and we can see that how much you can really bear it at this own point. But I do like the fact that the Knicks are just waiting to come through in the right moment. But it is a giant difference now. Now it's about the money situation. It's about guys that are just getting healthy. Jose Alvarado needs to be healthy at his own cost. That's what happened. We also have another news. The Lakers have acquired Luke Kennard from Atlanta. They're exchanging Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. So Vincent and the second-round pick are heading to Atlanta. So they're trying to get more shooting. Lakers try to get more shooting. Lakers are 27th in the league in three-point percentage. So they're trying to balance it out for the Lakers. You got Reeves back. That's a huge one. He missed a lot of time. So Austin Reeves has played very well. So that's always going to stand out, because right now the trade, like I said, the NBA trades are still connecting. We talked about that yesterday and throughout the week. The NBA trades are connecting. So you can't abandon this right now. So we'll talk more about the trade deadlines throughout the day. All right, let's move on from this. Another breaking news in the NBA from Shams. The Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo being traded will be lifted, which means he will have to stay with the team until the end of the regular season if the Bucks intend to miss the playoffs. If they fail to go to a play-in, they still have a chance to get into a play-in tournament, but they're outside looking in right now. So why is Giannis Antetokounmpo's trade was lifted? I think because they're looking for teams that where he's comfortable at, but they said the front office's people are not in position to put Giannis getting traded this season. I mean, did they did the smart thing or they did the wrong thing? I believe they did the smart thing. They just got to make sure, or they got to keep him for the rest of the year until further notice. So but Giannis is not going without a fight. Giannis is not going. Yeah, they're not going without a fight, unfortunately. This is what happened when you don't have anyone to step up let's just say this. I do know this. You're really trying your hardest. You're really trying that Giannis has a chance to be traded. He's only 31 years old. It's not gonna work. I know Giannis want to be healthy and come back, stay with and let this rest of the season play out. If the Bucks do not make the playoffs, then I understand it's disappointment. They just don't have good enough firepower. So they have been discussed that how Giannis is going to be traded by the end of the season. It's really difficult. Should the Bucks keep Giannis out for the rest of the year? Honestly, I should keep him out. I keep him out for the rest of the year and let someone else do their job. I think it's best for the team. I think it's best for the coach, and I think it's best for the rest of this franchise. You've got to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo out for the rest of the year because I think he decided not to play in Milwaukee for the rest of the year. He's not just, the good news is he's not just like Ben Simmons. So hopefully good things in Milwaukee could come to an end by the end of the season. All right, let's think about this. You think Giannis had something to prove with? You can prove it wrong. You can always prove it wrong because of that. Maybe there's not a lot of things going on, and you're asking a whole bunch of questions. But it's like that. This is a golden opportunity to stay put and put themselves in prime position to get into the playoffs. Right now, for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Bucks are 20-29. And they're sitting 12th place in the Eastern Conference. They still got a shot for the final spot in the play-in tournament, but Charlotte has played very well. They won 7 games in a row, and they're battle to Houston. So look at the Charlotte Hornets. They're rolling. If they win tonight, Bulls play the Raptors tonight. If the Hornets beat the Rockets and Bulls beat the Raptors, what's the head-to-head record look like? Hornets up the season series 2-1. And my Hornets are 2-1 this season against the Bulls, if I'm correct. So we'll see how it goes. about that. So there's a real difference there. So Giannis getting traded will be lifted until the season's over. So, yeah. All right, so Draymond is in trade rumors, by the way, for the Golden State Warriors. So is this the end of the era of Draymond Green if he gets traded ahead of the deadline? Well, if I will be honest, I think it is best to move on from Draymond. I think it's best. I don't know where he's going to destinate. Either it's the Lakers, should the Clippers get Draymond Green, or should Minnesota, or should Memphis benefit Draymond Green? There's a lot going on right now, but I'm just saying. Excuse me. I'm just saying, Memphis has a lot of young talent, but Draymond, like I said, it is best to move on from Draymond Green, but Lakers will be the better interest. So how's this going to work? Which means are they going to become teammates with LeBron James and Luka Doncic? If that's the case, if the Lakers do intend to acquire Draymond Green, I mean, this is really shocking. The Lakers could get Draymond Green before the deadline. This could be shocking because those are the opportunities where all this is going to come from. And they'll have to wait for it. They do have to wait for it. This is a different story, but you're asking for it. But Draymond Green has to perform in a high level. He is a 4-time NBA champion. He is a 4-time NBA champion. But I get it. He wants to be traded so bad. He's been Warriors for far so long, and he's definitely a future Hall of Famer. I believe he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's done everything to support his franchise. I think Draymond could deserve a lot better than he was over the last few years. All right, so it's time to move on. When we come back, we'll still talk more. We're still talking about more trade deadline, and then we'll talk Seahawks Patriots best moments of the 2025 regular season and postseason as well, and then what's going on as far as NFL black coaches. We'll talk about that as well. And we'll step away in about 3 more minutes. All right, welcome back here. For the first time in a while, the NFL has hired no black coaches. So right now, the question is, the biggest question mark, how concerned that the NFL is hiring no black coaches. How concerning. Technically, this is concerning to me. Do they deserve to hire another black coach next year? Yeah. Right now, I believe NFL is open to change. In fact, there's more black quarterbacks than black coaches. Well, is that surprising number? Yeah, it is. It is surprising, technically. There's more black quarterbacks than black coaches. In college right now, there are like few black coaches hiring, including 2 HBCU coaches, Michael Vick from Norfolk State University, and Deshaun Jackson from Delaware State University, and then Deion Sanders, University of Colorado. In the NFL, the only black coaches are in that roster. Todd Bowles, Aaron Glenn. Who else? So that's the one. Aaron Glenn and Todd Bowles are the main ones who is about black coach. The black coaches are in a study mode, in a hitting mode right now. It's really tough. It is really tough to go through this process. Yes, NFL black coaches is going through it. And we've just been talking about it. All right, the NFL black coaches, the minorities, they don't pay a whole bunch of salary. The tax. That's an issue right now in football. That's an issue right now. Let's see what Jason McCourty says on Stephen A. Smith podcast.
At all that there's been 10 openings, 7 have been filled, and not one single black coach has been hired as a head coach?
Absolutely. I think when you look at the history of our league, we have a Rooney Rule in place because we don't feel as though the hires were done in a fair way and an equal way for coaches that look like me and you. And you look throughout the course of throughout our league and what the players look like, and a lot of the assistant coaches as well, and they look like us. And they're not being represented at those head coaching spots. And I think when these vacancies open up, all 10 of them, we see a lot of these same names, whether it's Vance Joseph, whether it's Brian Flores or Anthony Weaver, now Anthony Lynn. You see the same guys interviewing for multiple jobs, but you don't see a lot of those guys on those second interviews, or we're not seeing them given those jobs. And I think that is concerning. When you see a guy like Gerard Mayo get in there in 2024 and he's only there for 1 year, it is concerning because you want to see those guys get elevated and get their opportunity. And I know because I spent 13 years in the NFL and I had a ton of coaches that were black, that were awesome, and that would do really well with those opportunities, and they haven't always been afforded one. So people can say whatever they want to say. We don't see color, we're just looking for the best coach. There's a Rooney Rule in place for a reason. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be trying to come up with these ways to get these coaches more opportunities. I think also within the Rooney Rule, it's obviously shown us that it doesn't necessarily work. We have to try to find a way to get it to be a little.
Okay, so this is what happened right now. Right now, the black coaches are in crisis. Absolutely in crisis right now in the NFL. Black coaches are in crisis in general. Why would you support that? We need black coaches to get in. I understand that because we never seen every black coach or a black quarterback. Like I said, I would love to see a black coach and a black quarterback. I would love to see that. I mean, the relationship, the society is problematic. The society is absolutely problematic because I think there's a lot of things going on at the plate right now. And there's a bunch of questions that are going to be asked. Should Do you think NFL black coaches have something to do with it? You have Raheem Morris. He got fired for the Falcons head coaching job. It's disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. NFL black coaches not getting hired is extremely disappointing. Technically it is. And there's no getting around it. There's a lot of NFL players and NFL black coaches are going against them. NBA has a black coach. Major League Baseball has a black manager. So who does that? The greatest black manager in the history of the game is the late Frank Robinson. The best black coach in the NBA, there's a ton of it. Bill Russell is the greatest black coach in the history of the game. The Tony Dungy and Mike Tomlin is considered the best. In Major League Baseball, it's got to be Frank Robinson and Dusty Baker and Buck O'Neil. It's got to be Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker is got to be the best black manager in the history of the game. Dave Roberts, Frank Robinson, Ron Washington, Cito Gatson. So those are the coaches or managers. There's football, basketball, or baseball. There's a lot of significant stuff. Well, this is Black History Month. I do support Black History Month. I love Black History Month. One of the greatest of all time. History, it's a dark history in sports. This has got to be the darkest moment in the history of America. Why they don't have NFL black coaches getting hired this offseason. This is hard now. Technically, NFL front offices for every team who hired it's hard-headed, has been severely hard-headed. Somebody made a hard-headed decision to not hire a black coach. That's a bad. You made a bad decision to not hire a black coach. The worst thing you could do. The best black coaches in the history of the game is Tony Dungy, Mike Tomlin. And then you still got Art Shell. That was the first stint. D'Amico Ryans is coaching well so far. 3 consecutive winning seasons. The best black coach that I almost didn't mention is D'Amico Ryans. He's gone 3 consecutive winning seasons. He's reached the playoffs 3 straight times. Also a black quarterback, C.J. Stroud. There it is. A black coach equals a black quarterback. Stroud is black. Ryans is black. The black coaches and black quarterbacks. You could have exceeded your expectations about that. And you got Jim Caldwell, got to the Super Bowl in his first year as head coach. I think that was his second year. But other than that, he coached with Detroit, got to the playoffs in 2 different franchises. This is a golden opportunity. Those are the black coaches. They deserve to be hired. By going forward, not just next year, by going forward in general. So black coaches does need help. We need to pay money. They need better jobs. They need to pay to win. They need it. Or they need to file. They could file another lawsuit against them. It's an issue right now in sports, as far as black coaches in general. So that's what just happened right now. All right, let's move on. We'll update more trades and stuff, and then we'll highlight some best moments of Seahawks and Patriots moments of 2025 regular season and some parts of the postseason as well. We're gonna step away in 3 minutes. One back here, trade deadline is about a few hours away, so we'll see they get their last minute trade deadlines. No breaking updates just yet, so right now, so I'm gonna ask this question right now. What are my thoughts about the trade deadline so far? About making trades so far as the deadline is approaching. My thoughts were, this has been this year is gonna be one of the most shocking, I won't say not the most shocking, this has got to be one of the most strangest trade deadline I ever seen in my life. This has got to be the strangest trade deadline of all time. But I tell you what, this is an opportunity and there's not a lot of questions you can really ask for it. But everything that went like that, you could spend a whole bunch of money. And my thoughts was, I think the trade deadline, the trade, we've seen star players we've seen superstars or star players are getting traded. Let's say there's the players you don't want. And let's just say that. It is really, really difficult to say that there's a lot of things that go at the plate and going against it. It's an issue right now in sports. They gotta make themselves out of it. If that's gonna be the case, the NBA trades just continue to mount. So this is a different story. You gotta get off your chest. But the Thunder has acquired Jarrett McCain from the Sixers, so that was good news for them. They need to add some guys to provide a spark with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander being out, Jalen Williams being out, Chet Holmgren day to day as well. So if they keep one of these guys out until All-Star break, then these guys will be fresh by All-Star. So Thunder has been going through it right now. But the Hornets acquired Lonzo Ball. He's going to play with his brother, right? I'm wrong. Lonzo Ball is headed to Utah. Lonzo Ball is heading to Utah to play the Jazz. And then the Wolves have acquired Dosunmu and Phillips to the Wolves, which means Dillingham and Miller and 4 second-round picks are going to the Bulls. So try to add another bench play. So that's what this is all about. All right, well, let's move on from the NBA. We did have breaking news in Major League Baseball I did not mention in the last few weeks. The Tigers are in agreement of Framber Valdez. The Tigers are signing Valdez in a 3-year, $115 million deal, which means he could average about $38 million a year on the average, which means that could benefit Tarik Skubal's rotation. So look at the Tigers' notable starting rotation. Tarik Skubal expect to be an opening day starter. Then Framber Valdez will be the follow, will be the number 2 rotation. And then Jack Flaherty. And then the 4th spot is up for grabs. The 5th spot is up for grabs for the Tigers starting rotation. So as the rotation, so with Framber Valdez, how many total wins for Framber Valdez will be on the mound? And how many starts will he make? Will he be an all-star? So there's 3 questions asking. So first one, how many wins will Framber Valdez will have? Will he have 12.5 wins? So will he go over or under 12.5 wins? In his first year for Framber, I'm gonna go under this one. I think there's time if his health is going to be concerned for Framber, but I'm going to go under 12.5 wins. I think he's going to win about 9 games. But he won't get a lot of losses either. He'll probably go 9-6. And he'll probably get about 24, 25 starts. He'll probably get 25 starts. And his ERA might be around 3.8, something like 3.80. So he might get off to a slow start, but he'll turn around and pot up some wins. But at times he could end up a no decision. So I'll pick under 12.5 wins for Framber in his first year. It's going to be somewhat challenging to start, and then he'll get back to normal down the stretch of the season, and hopefully he'll come through in the postseason. That's going to be the key in this one here. Second one, will he be an all-star this year? No, he will not be an all-star this year. However, though, he'll come through in certain spots, but Framber will not be an all-star this year because of his health. He needs to cut down his walks. But I think Framber is a guy who could really step up. But Detroit Tigers are just looking for some opportunities. But Tarik Skubal is the best pitcher on the team, without a shadow of a doubt. He's the best ace on the team. So it's not Framber. I think Framber will be productive for the rest of the year, but I don't think he's an all-star this year, without a shadow of a doubt. And the third question was, will Framber Valdez. Will Framber Valdez be a Tiger for a long time? I hope so. I hope he becomes a Tiger for a long time. I hope he comes through with it, and that will be the best case scenario to get to that point. But it's really hard to see whether or not, if he could be an Tiger for years. All right, so we're gonna move on from that. When we come back, we'll talk Seahawks and Patriots' best moments of the 2025 regular season and parts of the postseason. And then we'll wrap things up. What's coming up in tomorrow's episode, we'll talk about that as well. When we come back, we'll talk Seahawks Patriots' best moments of 2025 season before they play the Super Bowl this Sunday. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, welcome back on this talk show. Real quick, before we wrap things up, let's take a look at the top 3 moments, one by each team. So we'll give about 3 minutes about this. All right, so for the Seahawks, they're a designated road team for this one. Number 3 is the Seahawks made the craziest 2-point conversion you'll ever see. That was week 16 against the Rams. Initially, it was an incomplete pass, but they reviewed it. It was a backwards pass, and a Seahawks player picked it up in the end zone. They ruled a 2-point conversion successful. Number 2, Seahawks completed a Thursday Night Football comeback against the Rams, and Sam Darnold threw a game-winning 2-point conversion to beat the Rams 38-37 in overtime. And number 1, Rashid Shaheed with a kickoff return for a touchdown in the NFC division round. And they all come away with a win. They end up winning divisional round. That's the Seahawks' top 3 best moments. Top 3 best moments of the Patriots. Marcus Jones. Hold on. It was Antonio Gibson's. Actually, it was Marcus Jones. It was Marcus Jones' 94-yard punt return for a touchdown in Week 13 against the New York Giants. It ended up being the Giants in Week 13. That was number 3. Number 2, the Patriots had 7 sacks against Justin Herbert in the AFC wildcard game in a 16-3 win. That was number 2. And number 1, Drake May's 5 touchdown performance in Week 17 against the New York Jets in a blowout win. That's the best moments of New England side. So let's see how it pans out a little bit. Here. All right, let's wrap things up. So let's see what's coming up in our next episode tomorrow as Super Bowl weekend approaches. So tomorrow we'll talk about who's the biggest winner and the biggest losers of the trade deadline. We'll evaluate those tomorrow. A number of teams, who's the biggest winner and the biggest loser. Also, we'll recap who won the awards last night from tonight. We're also going to talk about it, and then we'll take the final look between the Seahawks and the Patriots, and who am I picking. So we'll have to find out in the next 3 days or so, and hopefully we'll continue to do what we're asking for. Today we talked about Giannis. His trade is possibly lifted. And the moves have been made. Today's move has been made as well. The deadline is a few hours away. This is exciting, man. This is exciting. It totally is. All right, that's it, man. I'm out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.